Today, you are going to learn more about Mary Magdalene and her connection to the angels. Welcome back to another video. I am continuing on with my Ascended Master series that I started off with Melchizedek. Now we're moving on to Mary Magdalene, and I'm so excited to share more about her presence, her energy, her being, my personal experience in terms of connecting with her, and how you can also deepen your connection with Mary Magdalene. So I'm going to share all of that in this video today. So first of all, let's start off by talking about Mary Magdalene and the energy that she brings forward, because her presence is so magnificent. It is so divinely beautiful. And of course, one of the core things that she is known for is her connection to the divine feminine. And so anyone who is doing divine feminine work, if you stumbled across divine feminine leadership, divine feminine energy, divine feminine activation, things like that, you have probably come across Mary Magdalene and have felt her presence around you. Maybe you felt her step forward for you. Maybe you've called on her to support you, things like that, where her energy, just her presence, when she fills the room with her presence, you can immediately feel this shift and this higher frequency, and especially the connection towards what the divine feminine represents and what it's all about, which in general, it's about being nurturing. It's about surrendering. It's about being in a space where you are leading with your heart. It's connected to our intuition. Divine feminine is an energy where creativity comes alive and being creative. So all of those characteristics are connected to the divine feminine. And there's a lot more, but that's just a couple to give you an idea of what divine feminine energy feels like, what it's connected to. On the flip side, divine masculine is more structure, logic. It's about having a support system. The divine masculine brings in that more strength and support energy, whereas the divine feminine is really about the creative flow and being in surrender and allowing yourself to be guided in that specific way. So it's less rigidness and more flexibility. So with the divine feminine energy, one of the key things that Mary Magdalene brings through as a point of healing for us as we step into understanding what our relationship is with the divine feminine and how we desire to be expressed in the divine feminine, she brings through a message around loving our true selves and loving who we are. At the core of it all, it is connected to that divine love. And that if we are rejecting any part of ourselves, then we're not fully loving our whole self. And then there is a part of us that will feel rejected, abandoned, and it disconnects us from our gifts. It disconnects us from the beautiful light that we're here to shine. So when working with Mary Magdalene, and if you're on a journey of self-love, for example, then calling on her is going to help you to soften. And when I say soften, I mean that sometimes we put up walls around the parts of us that we have rejected, or that we have deemed unlovable, or that maybe we've been shamed for, and therefore now we're shaming ourselves. Whatever the story is, Mary Magdalene is going to help you to soften. She's going to help you to open up your heart. She's going to help you to see the beauty that exists inside of you, regardless of what your past has said, regardless of what other people have said. That right now, as of this moment, is over. You get to declare that that's over, and you begin a new chapter now. And this is the new chapter of you loving yourself. And this is a new chapter of full acceptance of who you are, and really allowing yourself to embrace all parts of you, knowing that you are lovable. And even if at first it feels hard, it's not necessarily an easy thing to just be like, okay, I'm just going to love myself now and all parts of me. No, it's something that we have to learn. But what Mary Magdalene is saying is that it's knowing that this is a journey of discovering what it feels like to love yourself again, or ever. what it feels like, the discovery process, the exploration of love within yourself and for your whole self. And so Mary Magdalene, calling on her can support you with that and can help you. She can help lead you into the different rituals or routines, habits, things that you can put in place to support the growth of that love for yourself. Another part of Mary Magdalene's message is to be seen and heard, and especially as a woman, like to be seen and heard, period, in general for everybody, but especially as a woman. And the reason why is because for women, their voice has been suppressed for many, many, many years. So many years, women's voices have been suppressed. They've been rejected. They've been disempowered. These experiences have gone on for so many generations. And one of the things that I truly believe is happening right now on a collective level, and one of the directions that we're going as a collective, spiritually speaking, is the rise of women. And not in any way where it's like, yeah, women and boo men or anything like that. It's just the rise of women to be fully in their power. And for us to recognize and see that as a woman, if you are a woman watching this, that as a woman, you hold so much potential inside of you that maybe through your ancestral timelines, through other experiences in your life, you have unconsciously suppressed that. And then if you don't identify as a woman, but you know women in your life, then this is an opportunity for you to support the women in your life who are going through that experience. And so being heard and seen as a woman is something that Mary Magdalene is very, like, as I say this, I feel her energy like very strong and passionate about, and very in a space where it's so important for us to honor our truth and to show up in our true selves and to feel empowered in that. And even Mary Magdalene is just such a beautiful example of that, because even her story and who she is has been twisted and turned and manipulated in, the history books, like all of that. And so to be able to come back to a place of acknowledgement of the truth of who we are and the truth of you as an individual, your power, your potential, and to know that your voice gets to be heard, that you get to be seen, that you have something special to offer to the world, that you're not here to be silent, you're not here to just hide away in a corner and just not be seen, not be heard. You are meant to be heard. You are meant to be seen. And so working with Mary Magdalene can help activate that energy and activate that power where you show up in that sovereign energy. And you don't have to, one of the things that she's saying right now is that you don't have to push or fight your way to it. And I know that that can be a temptation, because when someone has been suppressed for so long, their innate reaction is to, I gotta fight, I gotta push, I gotta retaliate. And that's not what the case is here. It's not about retaliation. It's not about pushing. It's not about fighting. It's about honoring the divine being that you are. It's about seeing yourself first, knowing that you get to be heard and that you get to be seen, that you are worthy, and then simply then using your voice. And what she's saying is that as you use your voice, it will become amplified. That this is the time in our spiritual evolution that the world is finally ready for this transformation, for this evolution. And so because the world is now ready, that means that when we use our voice, the divine automatically comes in and helps to amplify the energy. So it's knowing that you're not doing this alone is the other part of this message, that you're not doing this alone. You're not at this alone. Your voice, think of your voice as a transmitter. Like you're here as like a transmitter of whatever divine love, divine truth, whatever frequencies that you're here to deliver and share. Whatever you have felt called in your heart, whatever message, whatever mission that is on your heart that you know that you're here to deliver, that you're here to guide, you have to use your voice though. And it's not something where we have to wait for it to feel safe in order to then use it, because what she's saying is that's not going to happen in that order. You have to use your voice first, and then the experience of knowing that it's safe to use your voice will come through your own experience. So that's an important part of this message, is to know that you get to be seen, you get to be heard, and that Mary Magdalene is supporting that for you. And the final thing that I will share in terms of Mary Magdalene and how she supports you is in your leadership. To be a leader, to show up in your leadership energy, to show up in a way where you know that you are being an example of whatever the leadership is that you are guiding, whether it's spiritual leadership, whether it's confidence leadership, whether it's any other kind of leadership. It's you knowing that you are here to guide, to lead, to be an example. And leadership doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have hundreds or thousands of people who are following you or who are looking up to you. It's as simple as leadership in your everyday life, leadership within your community, leadership within your family unit, whatever the thing is. It's leadership in all the different micro forms and macro forms, and just knowing that your leadership is what ripples out. And in your leadership, that's where you are the most in your power and in your truth when you are leading. And knowing that we all have leadership skills and leadership qualities within ourselves, even if you maybe your whole life have thought, oh no, I'm not a leader. Like, who's going to listen to me? Things like that. Like, if that's you, then definitely you need to call on Mary Magdalene to support you, because she's going to help you to see the leadership that exists inside of you, and to bring forward your leadership qualities. Because remember, it's not about how many people you are leading. It's about how are you showing up in the energy of leadership, of being an example in your everyday life. Even if it's just one person who you're interacting with. How are you showing up in a state of leadership? So that is the other part that Mary Magdalene supports us with, is to step forward in whatever form or whatever way that's meant to be expressed in the world. But at the core of it, it's the leadership skills that are important to understand. So then when it comes to working with Mary Magdalene and working with the angels, because she is definitely connected to the angels, I have personally seen her come forward so many times in so many different ways. Definitely more specifically when I am doing divine feminine work or leadership work as well. But there's always angels that come in as well. And so the angels that I most often see associated with Mary Magdalene are the Herschel angel Alexandra, Archangel Haniel, Archangel Jophiel, and Angel Celeste. So those four are the ones that you can call on simultaneously. Maybe you've worked with, or you are very deeply connected to any of those angels that I just listed. And so you can utilize all of them, all four of them, and plus Mary Magdalene, or whatever you feel guided towards, and knowing that they all work together, because those angels that I just listed, they are also connected to the divine feminine energy. They also support our healing, our leadership, our self-love. And so if you are used to the angelic frequency, or you just really love working with the angels, then pairing those up, Mary Magdalene with those angels, is going to be a beautiful connection, and also just continue to amplify that energy. Think about it. When you are working with the divine and these divine beings, what's happening is that there's energy. It's like a circle of energy that's being created around you. And so when you are working with multiple energies, that energy gets amplified and the energy grows stronger, and your connection and your ability to discern and your ability to receive what they have for you will increase. And it will get stronger, and you'll be able to be a receiver and a vessel of more high frequency energy as you practice this more and more. So your expression of your divine feminine will get bigger and stronger and more expansive. Your ability to receive divine downloads that then gets translated in some way in your expression or in what you create or in how you show up, that will increase as well. So calling on these angels that I listed, as well as Mary Magdalene, is going to be very supportive for you, especially as you develop your leadership, your divine feminine energy, and your self-love. Now, the symbols that I see connected to Mary Magdalene are, of course, the rose. That's like the number one. Rose, the rose in whatever shape or form, doesn't just have to be red roses, but of course the color red is one of the other symbols or ways that you can feel more connected to Mary Magdalene. The color red, roses, and then water. Water is something that is connected to Mary Magdalene, as it represents the energy of flow, and it represents the energy that water, when you think of water and it flows, how it takes different shapes and different forms and how it can move through anything. That is the essence and qualities of water, and that's also the essence and qualities of the divine feminine and Mary Magdalene. So think about a river that has maybe huge rocks in it. What does the water do? Does the water wait for the rocks to move, or does it find a way around the rock? It finds a way around the rock. So when you're feeling like you're stuck, or feeling like you're blocked, or feeling like you're like pushed up against a rock, you can call on Mary Magdalene and ask her to help you see or feel the essence of the water, the essence of flow, your divine feminine power, and for that to lead you, to show you what is the pathway that is around the rock. How do you get around it? You don't have to wait for it to move and try to get through it. You can move around it. You can ebb and flow and find a different way. And so that is at the core of Mary Magdalene's way of supporting us and knowing our power, knowing our truth, and knowing that we're supported. Now, the ways in which you can connect with her and begin to deepen your connection, begin to experience her energy. Number one is going to be if you can create a sacred environment, a slow environment. So if you think about if you create a space in your room where maybe it's just candlelight, maybe there's a soft music that's playing, where the lights are dim, where there isn't all of this busy, chaotic energy. So the opposite of connecting with Mary Magdalene is busy, chaotic energy. TV blaring, radio on, kids running around, like all of that, like that's the opposite. So you want to create a space that feels very serene, that feels very, very slow, that feels very sacred. And whatever is meaningful to you, you can put into this space. So whether this is you creating an altar, whether you want to draw a bath and just like make it all vibed out to what I'm speaking to here, candle lights, roses, music, like whatever it is that you need to do to create that kind of environment. So it's going to look different for every person. That's why it's not a specific thing. It's just what represents those things for you. Maybe for some people, it's simply getting out of the house and going to a sacred spot by a river that is quiet and there's no one around, and all you hear is the sound of the flowing water. And that right there brings you serenity and peace, and it helps you to feel that sacred connection. So it's finding what helps you to feel that sacred connection. And these are the qualities that you're looking for. And this is what one of the things that you can create is going through this process with candlelight or the music or the dim lights or whatever it is. Okay. Using roses, whatever calls to you. And then the other way that you can support your connection with Mary Magdalene is through essential oils. So some examples of essential oils that are strongly connected to her are jasmine, rose, frankincense, jojoba. Those are pretty much the main ones. And with these essential oils, one of the things that they have in common is that they're very grounding oils. So anything that helps you to feel rooted and grounded, Mary Magdalene is connected to that. So you can utilize those, whether you want to do it in combination or just pull one of those out if you have any of those essential oils, and just use that as a way to connect with her as well. You can maybe bring it into your sacred space if you desire to. But the point is that you're creating a sacred energy and environment to then call upon her energy and work with her in whatever specific way that you are called to do so. So that is my wrap up around Mary Magdalene and the ways that you can connect with her, how you can deepen your connection, work with her and the angels in all the areas. So I want to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know in which ways you have connected with Mary Magdalene before, or how you are planning to do so. Or if you go and use these suggestions, go connect with her, go do a meditation with her, and then come back, let me know what your experience was like. I want to hear from you and all the things regarding Mary Magdalene. So I cannot wait. I hope this video served you. If you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends, your family, your community. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, then definitely subscribe to this channel so that you do not miss any other future videos regarding the angels, our spiritual connection, and living in our true potential. I am sending you so much love and angel blessings, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.